Write an equation that corresponds to graph. First, you need to know the properties of a sine function. Sine function starts from intersection, max, intersection, minimum, intersection. Cosine function starts from max, intersection, minimum, intersection, max. In order to write the equation of the graph, you need to know what does A, B, C, D mean in this equation. A decides vertically stretch or compress. B decides horizontal stretch or compress. C decides horizontal shift, which is mean have you translated your graph to the left or to the right. D will be your new midline, which is also mean have you translated your graph up or down. Let's see our graph. If I'm going to write the equation for sine function, I would like to use this point as a start point, because the sine function starts from intersection, max, intersection, minimum, intersection. The period of function is 4 pi because the endpoint for this whole revolution is 4 pi. The formula for period is 2 pi over b. Therefore, I should have 4 pi equals 2 pi over b. 4 pi can be written as 4 pi over 1. When you do cross multiply, we will have 4 pi times b equals 2 pi times 1. To isolate b on one side, I need to divide it by 4 pi on each side. My left side has b only left. My right side, after reduce, I will have 1 over 2. Once I figure out b, I would like to box my answer, so I can find out a, b, c, d easily. Next thing I would like to figure out is a. A represents amplitude, which is also mean from the middle line to the highest point. From the graph, I can see the highest point is 2 units. Therefore, A equals 2. C decides horizontal shift. Have you translated your graph to the left or to the right? When you look at your graph, you can see you start from 0, 0. So you did not move your graph to the left or right. Therefore, C equals 0. Last, I would like to figure out what is a D. D will be your new middle line. Have you translated your graph up or down? When you look at the graph, I have not changed the up or down for my graph. All I have done is vertically stretch the graph by 2. Therefore, D is also equals 0. Because I have A, B, C, and D, at this point, I can write the equation for the graph. Y equals 2 sine, parenthesis, B is 1/2, therefore I have 1/2 x plus c, and c is 0, plus d, d is also 0. When I rewrite this function, I will have y equals 2 sine 1/2 x. Let's use the same graph to write a cosine function. Cosine function starts from the max, reach the intersection, minimum, intersection. Therefore, my start point is actually pi at this point instead of the 0. The period of the function still 4 pi. Because my whole revolution ended at the 5 pi, I started from 1 pi, 5 pi subtract the 1 pi, it's a 4 pi. But I do want you to understand, if your graph hasn't changed, the period of the function will not be changed, regardless you're writing sine function or cosine function. So period of the cosine function equals 4 pi. Period equals 2 pi over b. And 4 pi equals 2 pi over b. Like how we solved p equals 2 over b, b equals 1 over 2 will stay the same. Next will be amplitude. Amplitude represents from the middle line to the highest point. Again, your graph hasn't been changed. Therefore, the amplitude also will stay the same. Next thing I would like to see, what happened to D? D represents the vertical shiftment. Have you translated your graph up or down? When amplitude equals 2, all it means the graph has been vertically stretched by 2 units. I did not translate the graph any unit up or down. Therefore, my D stays the same, equals 0. Cosine graph is supposed to start from 0 and positive 2. The parent function starts from 0 and positive 1. But my graph starts from 1 pi and positive 2. Besides vertically I stretched my graph, I actually horizontally translate the pi unit to the right if I'm going to write the cosine function. So my start point will equals negative c over b will equals pi. When pi equals negative c over b, I do know b is 1 over 2. When I substitute b in this equation, I have a pi equals negative c over 1 over 2. For me to get rid of 1 over 2 from a denominator, I would like to multiply by 1 over 2 on each side. My left side will have a pi over 2. My right side, after cancel out 1 over 2, I have a negative c. When I divided by negative 1 on each side, my right side has c only left. The left side will have a negative pi over 2. At the end, because I have A, B, C, and D, I'm ready to write the equation for the function. Y equals 2 cosine parenthesis 1 over 2x minus pi over 2, because of plus c, my c is negative pi over 2. Close the parenthesis, plus 0. It's very important when you write the graph. You want to make sure, write the equation, you want to make sure you keep the parentheses. Because if you're not, negative pi over 2 will be D value. So I would like to rewrite my equation as y equals 2 cosine parenthesis 1 over 2x minus pi over 2 close parenthesis. I hope this helped.